tremendous record includes 37 wins, only 2 losses, with an impressive 32 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the former WBO middleweight world champion and current WBC super middleweight champion of the world, tonight making his 4th defensive title. Please welcome the hard-hitting champion known as the Dart Destroyer, introducing Nigel Benn. Once again, your referee in charge, now to give instructions, Larry O'Connell.
Well, there it is, all the talking's done now. The rundown by Larry O'Connell, amateur international in his time, remember him very well, the Fitzroy Lodge Club in London. So there's millions of viewers now being seen around the world, and Showtime in USA are taking us.
Come out, fight for the bell, may the best man win.
Well, there it is now. It's the red alert time, Jim, and I'm glad it's got normal cornermen here, because Eubank, with the jodhpurs and the monocle from the build-up this week, I thought maybe Jeeves would appear in his corner. It looks a bit like Bertie Wooster at times. Well, there's the focusing, Jim, that you were talking about there. Now, if the fight is half as good as the last time, 3 years ago in Birmingham, and having the close-shaved haircut for the first time now. Well, I don't know whether it helped with the slip punches a little bit. Remember, both world champions.
I think from the first meeting, Reg, Eubank is the one who's been doing most of the improving. I don't think Benn's really get any better at all. But Eubank now has the confidence of being a champion, and he started far more positively than I would have expected.
Conditions tremendous, Jim, isn't it? That extra poundage that they put on since the last time, they've carried it well.
Well, especially Eubank. I think that's going to have a big bearing on what happens tonight. Eubank will be closer to 13 stone here. Ben will just be around about the 12.
Yeah, remember,
Eubank's so much bigger and stronger.
Jim, it's 28 hours now since the weigh-in. I know you don't particularly agree with that the day before. It's a medical rule. We stop them dehydrating to make weight.
See, Ben's attitude just seemed a little bit casual as he came into the ring, smiling and bobbing about. Not as though he was coming to do battle.
Well, little ticking off there for Eubank. Don't hit on the break. The referee was pulling him apart. He didn't announce break, of course. It was a bit obvious. It's Ben's trying to go looking for him more, isn't trying to, well, not cut the ring size down, Jim, but to stop Eubank going walkabout.
Well, Ben has to come forward, race to be, you know, in any way positive, or look for success, but he can't do it in a reckless manner. He's got to have a bit more control than he normally shows, and I haven't really seen much control. Not a tight defence as he moves forward here.
He loves what he calls a tear-up, doesn't he? The old soldier. 4 years, 256 days in the Royal Fusiliers, and he counted every one of them.
But at least he's not wasting punches in the first round. One of Ben's problems, he runs out of steam because he wastes punches in the first few rounds, puts too much power into punches that are missing. So at least, although he's not tight, he's controlling his punch rate a little bit in the first round.
I tell you what, there's been some good shots landed in this opening round as we come up to the close there. Slightly low, not too much of a moan there from Eubank. And there it is, giving it the old pose again. The angle back to the corner, going back to the cares of the office, this fellow. He really is an incredible guy. But he may not even bother to go and sit down there, and trainer Ronnie Davis keeps a straight face. As I said, he's the Jeeves of the outfit. He calls him the pit bull terrier. There's the corner. And Maximo Pereira is actually the New York cab driver. There he is from the Dominican Republic, who first trained Eubanks, and he had 5 fights in Atlantic City, just in the little prelims. Nigel Benn there, the Jimmy Tibbs, who's worked against Eubank now. This is the 5th time, the 5th time now. He's going to try and get a win. He still hasn't beaten him. Bit of a calm confidence going on, Jim, in both corners, really, I thought there. Round 2.
Yeah, well, a fairly quiet opening round, but you can see the sharpness in Eubank's moves. He has total concentration, everything tight, and then fully concentrated. Full concentration.
He's admitted in the past that his early road work has not been that good, but he's really fired himself up and worked himself very hard on the road for this one. Ben, of course, very diligent trainer anyway.
See, Ben always has trouble against awkward, cagey opponents, and Eubank is certainly that. Ben's not getting his punches off quick enough, Reg. He's moving forward, bobbing and weaving, but not getting the punches off.
Amazing part with Eubank, really. He's only had 1 knockout or stoppage since he last fought Ben. That's been amazing. It was John Jarvis, the American. South African, Sugar Boy Malinga, Ron Essett, Tony Thornton, the postman, Juan Carlos Jimenez, all went to course. And Lindell Holmes.
Eubank are a lot of poor performances, Reg, but you always get the feeling that he can do better if he decides to do better. He just seems to do enough. I think Ben will have him fired up.
Oh dear, those little rabbit punches have to be stopped. Eubank must have wiped away the thought of that kind of dreary draw that he got the Irishman Ray Close in Scotland last time up.
Ben's getting them off a bit quicker now.
Yeah, the Manchester crowd are enjoying that too. What a turnout it is. All the celebrities, ex-champions, current champions. The newspaper literati, of course.
Yeah, Ben's doing better in the second round here.
Minute to go. It's the sharpest we've seen Eubank now, probably since he last fought this fellow, eh?
Yeah, well, as I say, I think the Ben fight made him realise just how tough this business was, so there's no way he's not got himself properly prepared for this.
He does absorb a punch so well, Jim Eubank doesn't. It's true he's been down, although the last time I agree with him, I thought it was a bit of a slip on water on the canvas, as well as followed the punch. He tripped over a left hook as well.
See, Eubank's never comfortable leading off attacks. He likes to pull a man forward onto him and hit him with counters.
Steve Albert back here in our New York City studios. We want to get impressions of the first 2 rounds from the fight doctor, Ferdy Pacheco and Bobby Ches. Ferdy, let's begin with your thoughts.
Well, I thought Ben came in the first round and was trying to take command, couldn't. And then the second round, Eubank came in very strong, and it looked like he was on the verge of taking command. It's only the second round. Already it looks like he's the boss.
It looked like Ben got a little sharper there in round 2, Bobby.
Well, you know, I think Eubank actually started the box a little better in round 2, but Ben is being aggressive while being a little bit defensive, too. He's watching. Last time he got hit a little too much on the way in. Now he's trying to watch that. He's pressing the fight with all he has, but Eubank may have a little too much. I think it's leaning just a little Eubank's way now.
The weather is certainly holding up. A tremendous crowd. They are into it. It is a spirited first 2 rounds between Ben and Eubank. Let's go back to our satellite coverage right now in Manchester, England.
Round 3.
So round 3, and I can tell you it's pretty chilly here now in Manchester. These fellas have warmed up well. They got off to a pretty bright start. Get the feeling, Jim, the bulk of the crowd are behind Ben when he throws bombs like this.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people, I mean, I quite enjoy the arrogance that Eubank brings into the ring. I think it's all part of the showmanship, but some people don't like it, so they want to see him maybe knock down a peg or two. But a good right-hand lead from Eubank. See, Ben has to pay more attention to the defence. If you look up now, he gets flipped. Instead of covering up, he goes on the attack.
You know, he likes all the blasting stuff. He likes living on the edge all the time, doesn't he, Ben? That little bit of danger. He's done it the hard way. He's the only Briton that's gone abroad like that and won 2 World Championships in America. Doug DeWitt, around Barkley.
Yeah, well, Hunnigan did it as well, I suppose,
yeah.
But not quite as intense as the first battle yet, but with every round that passes, it's heating up more. Ben, a bit more positive now, trying to move forward with the punches. That's a dangerous looking right hand Eubank throwing.
You don't have that cauldron heat, of course, in indoor arena, Jim. I wonder if you fought in the open air. Does it make that much difference?
Yeah, it does actually, especially in October. I mean, it's not so bad in the summer months, a little pleasant breeze. But in the month of October, it gets fairly cold up there in between rounds.
Oh, there's a low punch. Quite rightly. I don't know whether he's going to take the point away. He hasn't signified that, Larry O'Connell, no. Well, not too many of them. That could interfere with the family allowance.
Yep, Ben's been caught low as well now. Both been warned.
Well, that's fair. Quite right. I know they've got their foul-proof protectors, but the damage can be done. You can get some pain with that, Jim, can't you?
I mean, we're not really seeing good, clean punches landed. A little bit of stuff. I think they're both paying each other an awful lot of respect. Ben's beginning to take some chances. But Eubank have been very, very careful.
The bleachers, as they say in the States, the stands here at the back of this Old Trafford ground, it's cheering everything.
Steve Albert back in our New York City studios. We'll return to the Ben Eubank rematch momentarily, but first let's bring you up to date on a championship fight that took place on the undercard. WBA welterweight champ Crisanto España took on Donovan Boucher. Let's check out some of the action from that fight. España outfought and outboxed Boucher throughout. In round 2, España, who beat Meldrick Taylor for the title, put Boucher to the canvas for the first time. Then España, a Venezuelan native who now lives in Northern Ireland, sent Boucher down for the second time in the bout in round 7 with a crunching left hook right there. The 32-year-old Boucher, rated number 9 by the WBA, simply overmatched. As you will see in round number 10, España jumps all over the challenger, landing a number of vicious combinations. Boucher was just defenseless here in the corner. As España continued to pour it on, it was a barrage by Crisanto España, and finally, the referee had seen enough, and he stopped the fight. Crisanto España makes his second title defense of the WBA welterweight crown and runs his impressive record to 30-0 with 25 knockouts. More welterweight championship action coming up here on Showtime, October 23rd, when undefeated IBF champ Felix Trinidad makes his second title defense against tough and durable Anthony Stevens in Fort Lauderdale. Now, let's return via satellite to Manchester, England. Ben Eubank 2.
Second out, round 4.
And we're out for round 4. WBC, WBO versions of the 12 stone or 168 pounds championship of the world. And, well, as you've lived in a cave the last few years, Eubank in the yellow trunks and Ben in white. Yet another low punch there. I think he might take a point away there. Second morning, he says. No, it's been a bit lenient there, Larry O'Connell.
Maybe the fact that the both of a warning is making Connor a little bit more lenient, but another one and he'll take a point.
Two American referees, judges, Carol Castellano, first woman actually to judge the World Championship in Britain, with Lloyd Hannigan in the second fight with Jorge Vaca. Chuck Hassett from Anaheim, California, and the old veteran from England, Harry Gibbs. Referee Larry O'Connell wouldn't score if it went to 12 rounds. Oh, good right-hand punch there, Jim. Right above us here. He's hurt Eubank. He's looking as though Eubank was actually had the nerve to call him on there.
I don't think it was hurt, Reg. There wasn't a change in his eyes. He stumbled after the punch. It was a good shot, but he was actually waving Ben on.
Yeah, he's been a bit cheeky there, wasn't he?
Yeah, but a good right-hand punch it was.
I would have knocked his monocle out, Jim, I'll tell you that.
This is where Ben must keep himself under control and get the punches flowing. You see, he's marching forward, but he's taking too long to get the punches off.
No question, it's the best we've seen, Eubank. Do you agree?
Yeah, the sharp pitch. I thought he missed quite a bit in the previous round, but you can see his thinking and his movements are sharp. But Ben's getting through with the shot. It's the right hand lead again landing. But Ben just seems a little bit ragged to me, and as the pace slows down, he's going to pay for that, because that's when Eubank will begin to catch him cleanly. I mean, this is really ragged stuff from Ben. There's not a great deal of control.
Yeah, you remember, Jim, he said he didn't prepare properly last time and was overweight the day before the fight, and I think he's in the best shape he could possibly be, and maybe he won't have those stamina doubts that he had last time.
I don't think it's so much stamina doubts, Reg. He blows himself out. He does too much work in the first 6 rounds of a fight. He doesn't think about a campaign as a 12-rounder. He trains hard enough, but you have to pace yourself. And he's certainly pacing himself better. He's not wasting so many punches. But
Ben
the action really,
his luck, Jim.
yeah, it's really picking up now, Reg. But he's still very open, taking a lot of chances.
Well, now that's livening it up a bit now, isn't it? And, well, he's still getting the slow walk back to the corner there, Eubank, as only he can. And only 60 seconds now for these fellas to tell him what it's all about. Ronnie Davis on the outside of the ropes. Jim, the overhaul, look at that again now.
Well, that was a nice shot.
Punch.
Yep, see his legs, they're not stumbling, Reg. He's looking back, and this is what he called Ben on. He was never really badly shaken by that punch, but nevertheless, it was a good shot. Yeah, see, back he goes. He was actually pulling away from the punch as it landed.
Let's have a look at Barry McGuigan, the former world featherweight champion. Unofficial scorecard there. Well, there, you see, he's considered the bustling punches of Ben just puts him a point ahead, Jim.
Yeah, he's not far out. Eubank's looking sharp, moving sharp, but he's not getting his punches off too well. At least Ben being a little bit of an aggressor and throwing more punches.
Round 5. Oh, now it's really livening up now. It had to do that. Loves to tear up Nigel Benn now. That suits him. He wants to draw Eubank at the swapping punches with him.
Well, exploded into life there, Reg.
All that carefully nurtured hate is coming out now, is it?
See, Eubank never sustains an attack, Reg. In all the fights I've seen him. I wonder if he'll try and sustain this one. Ben reckless again, Reg. I mean, this is suicide. This is crazy. I mean, the fellow stopped him before. He knows he has the power to hurt him. Why is he doing this?
Now, nodding to the corner as well there. Certainly listening faithfully, I think, to cornerman Jimmy Tibbs' advice. And he's showing out to him as well, Ben. Minute gone in the 5th. It really is living up now to expectations, don't you think?
This is what we expected, Reg. But Ben is the one doing all the silly things here. I mean, he knows himself he doesn't have the greatest chin in the world. He's been shaken badly a couple of times. He's been stopped a couple of times. You think he would keep it a bit more protected.
midway then through the round. Oh, right above us there, Jim, I tell you. I had to draw in my breath there with that body punch that Eubank landed. But it's as strong as anything, actually, in the stomach, Ben.
Yeah, a fair bit of miss. This has been a good round excitement-wise, but a lot of missing. We're not really getting the punches home cleanly.
Well, inevitably it has to slow down a bit. They let too many punches go too soon in that round there.
Well, I have to say, Reg, I don't think Michael Nunn will have seen anything to worry him so far. I mean, it's not really been classic boxing.
Well, same goes for James Toney, but he's not quite in the picture yet. The man who has insulted both of them.
You have to give it to Benny. It has total commitment. I mean, once he sets off on an attack, no matter what comes back his way, he sticks with it right to the last, whereas Eubank likes to back off and start again.
He really likes to walk in and have a bang up. It's an exciting fight in Nigel Benn. I wonder what Michael Nunn does think about that. Here's Gary Newman with him.
Michael, what do you think of the fight so far? Well, you know, the fight is very exciting. You know what I mean? I'm getting excited sitting there ringside watching both of them go at it. I'm just looking forward to fighting the winner.
Do you think Nigel Benn is being rather reckless?
Well, no, not really. I mean, what he's doing, he's giving a lot of hard shots. He's taking some good shots, too. I mean, the fight's pretty even right about now.
And what about Eubank? He seems to be pacing himself well.
But no doubt about it. That's what Chris is trying to do. He's trying to let Nigel come out and exert himself in, try to pick up the later rounds and try to get him out of there late.
From what you've seen so far, who do you fancy to win this?
Well, believe it or not, I don't know who's going to win the fight. Like I said, I'm going to leave it up to those two individuals. I just want to fight the winner.
So there he is, getting a real seeing to there, isn't he? None other Jimmy Tibbs, the corner man. In the opposite corner, the trainers are changing there each round. Maximo Perret comes in one, and then Ronnie Davis for the other. Round 6. So the replay, Jim, looks as though it's going to live up now to the first fight, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, it's catching fire now, Reg. I mean, there's been some untidy punching, not too many good clean shots landed. But they've both paying each other so much respect, although Ben the more reckless of the two. But the excitement level has really lifted, and now it's started living up to what we expected.
Eubank not being able to pinch those rests that he likes to do in a fight. He's being forced to trade.
Well, Eubank knows he's the stronger of the two.
Oh, some good punches there, Jim.
Ben has some mouth damage.
Yeah. Yep. Warning for a low punch there. So 1 point taken off. So that's a blow for Ben. Yeah, he didn't seem that low, Jim, did it?
Oh, it's just the fact that he's been warned a couple of times already, Reg. So, I mean, what's the point in warning if you're not going to carry out your threats? That's what's happened.
Early on, they were, well, not only south of the
That's
border,
another one, actually. Right? He just landed another punch low then.
Yeah.
Eubank actually complained about it. He's going to have to take a bit more care. Eubank starting now to put some several. Good right hand from Ben, but Eubank looking for some power on the right hand now. If he wants to pace slows, Ben could find himself in trouble because his defence is very loose.
So there's a minute to go in the 6th round now. Oh, good exchange there. He's certainly sharpened up his boxing a lot, Eubank. He's said it in press conferences this week, you're going to be surprised in my box. Oh, shoved him out of the ring there. Well, to give him all the time he wants to get back, I would think. He's got to get back unassisted, and he's managed that okay. Good job there's a wide apron to this ring, otherwise he'd have been on our laps there.
Well, Ben gets through with a left hook. I don't know if that one's troubled Eubank. No, he's taking it well again.
Bit spiteful, isn't it?
Well, this is now where Ben should fancy the job. When he has to go looking for opponents, he struggles a little bit. But Eubank's there all the time. So it's a type of fight that suits Ben. A good right hand again from Ben.
But Jimmy absorbs him so well, Eubank. I'm waiting for him to go over from those punches. He just waves his arm as if to say nothing's happened. Well, he could have fooled me. Looks as though Jimmy Tibbs is a bit pleased with his man there. And now then, let's have a look at this in replay now. See if we can see this low punch. Oh yes, south of the border, south of the equator almost. And this is a bit, Jim, where he pushes him through the rope stick. Well, as I said, right above us. Whoop, there he comes. And certainly on a cold night like this, I tell you, there's a little nip in the air, and with this fight mob around here, if there's a nip in the air, they drink it. That's a bit of an old-fashioned there from Maximo Perret. I know a bit about that, because my father and uncle were quite well-known seconds. Round 7. Well done to Eubank there. He pulled away. He noticed that he slipped now. He could have easily taken advantage of that, Jim. Point up for Eubank.
Eubank's not delivering his punches very well, Reg. His timing seems slightly off. I mean, Ben's given plenty of chances. I know Ben's moving his head from side to side as he comes forward. But Eubank's timing just that little bit off. See, and he's getting caught. He's missing with his own leads and getting caught with the counters. I expected the opposite. Eubank to be the one with the sharp counter. Untidy, Reg.
Yeah, they don't trust each other close in like that, do they? They're not infighting too good. Still trying to use the uppercut occasionally now, Eubank.
I mean, it's really obvious how poor Eubank is at coming forward. When he misses with one punch, Reg, he's got nothing else to do. He's got to start ducking towards the floor and pulling away. His attacking boxing is really very poor. He depends on an opponent leading off so he can counter.
Well, the old scribe called milling on the retreat in a way, that was.
But a couple of times Eubank's gone on the attack. If the first punch misses, then he has nowhere to go. He has to start ducking, diving and grabbing hold.
Minute to go.
See, there he goes again, misses with a punch, nothing else to do. Just covers up.
No, scrappy around this, isn't it? Ended in the 9th round, the first fight, remember?
Well, Ben certainly paced his campaign a lot better this time. He hasn't wasted quite as many punches, taking chances, but not throwing a lot of silly punches.
Keep out of the picture as much as possible here.
And that was a slip.
No, that was a slip.
Steve Albert back here in our New York City studio. They are 7 rounds complete. Ben Eubank 2. The pace really picked up in that 5th round. And Eubank really fighting an intelligent fight, I think.
Except he let Ben right back in the fight this last round. I've got a dead even 66 to 66. As the British announcers are pointing out, it's a one-punch fight for Eubank. He punches and he grabs. He punches and he grabs. Benn took that round and got himself back in the fight.
How do you have it scored through 7, Bobby?
Well, I have Eubank with just a 1 point at 67-66. That 1 point deduction could turn out to be very big in the scoring as it comes down to a decision.
All right, Ben Eubank 2 continues. Our satellite coverage from Manchester, England. We go to the announcers, Red Gutteridge and Jim Watt, ringside.
Second out. Round 8.
Well, round 8 then. And remember, these fellows have both been in the melting pot a few times. Now, this last quarter of the fight could really decide the winner. How have you got it, Jim?
I've got Ben in front, Reg. I think Eubank has a lot to do here. He's not boxing well at all. Moving around sharp, they're looking good, pulling plenty of dangerous-looking faces, but his punches are not as sharp as they should be. And a lot of the action's been scrappy, but Ben has been just a little bit busier. You know, inside, he's been throwing little flips around the ears.
I thought Eubank was boxing exceptionally well, but as you say, it's got a bit ragged now.
He started well, he had a good first round, he looked very sharp, and I thought that's... But you see, he never sustains good action, Eubank. He's never been able to do that. I don't know if it's the type of training he does. He looks wonderfully, superbly fit, but he never sustains any action, so you wonder about his stamina. See a little missing again. And when he misses with punches, he doesn't quite know what to do. He's like a novice at times. And he has to start running and dipping towards the floor. If Ben misses with a punch, he comes back with another one, but decent balance.
It's a pity now they're doing a bit of clutching now. In practice, it's looked a very exciting fight.
The excitement's there, Reg, but I don't think it's quite the intense epic that their first battle was. It's a little bit scrappy. We're not seeing enough good, solid, good quality punches landed.
Now, it looks as though the moves have been choreographed a bit, doesn't it? 13 consecutive WBO fighters for Eubank.
Well, Eubank produced a lot of poor performances, Reg. So, I mean, it's quite possible that now and again he just can't raise the gallop, and he has a lot to do tonight. Boxing is very low-key here. And Ben still has plenty of steam left.
Wondering now how the newspaper critics have got this around the ringside here. Sponsored, of course, by the Daily Mirror, more newspapers this fight.
You have to hand it to Ben, the natural fighter, Reg. When he's tagged, he just comes storming back again. Eubank sharpened up a little bit just in this little half minute here.
And there's the countdown for the 8th.
Steve Albert back in our New York City studio as Showtime Championship Boxing brings you satellite coverage of Ben versus Eubank 2 from Manchester, England. We'll return to the fight in a moment, but first, once again, we'd like to remind you about a programming note here on Showtime. We'll be with you once again Saturday, October 23rd from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, as IBF welterweight champion Felix Trinidad defends his title against highly rated Anthony Stevens. It's live at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific, right here on Showtime Championship Boxing. Trinidad, a young, undefeated sensation from Puerto Rico, October 23rd. Also, on the card, a pair of undefeated welterweights, top contenders, Obacar versus Pedro Sanchez. It's a welterweight extravaganza on Showtime Championship Boxing, October 23rd, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 Pacific. Now we go back to our satellite coverage of Ben Eubank 2 in Manchester, England.
Into the 9th round.
Well, I think it's now time for Ben to go back to the old Nigel Benn and just really give it what he has now. The last third of the fight, he can afford now to really raise the pace. It's been, by his standards, a good, cool, steady pace. He must have plenty left. Just keep that chin down and raise the pace. Eubank doesn't like working at a pace. And I think the time is now right for Ben to raise it.
Oh, this is a round that ended in last time.
Ben actually ended up being kicked in the neck there.
Yeah, but Larry O'Connor was quite amused by that. He's keeping a good humour going, that's something. Not for long, the armistice was short-lived.
Good left hook from Ben. I mean, a little bit sneaky stuff from Eubank. He put out the touch glove and threw a punch at the same time there. Don't expect that from him.
Plenty of the old needle here, that's the same. Scrappy in parts. But how do you reckon a man like Eubank, Jim? We keep saying it. I mean, do you know, when he was sparring with Chris Bart, who's also a world champion for this fight, he actually broke off to answer his mobile phone. Or in his case, it's got to be a poker phone.
There's been one for a little bit of holding and hitting there.
Yeah, that'll go against him with the judges.
See, Ben is still the one, when they get up close, he's throwing the little clips. They're not good, clean, solid punches, but they're scoring points. That's what's giving them a front, and Eubank holding again.
He's talking to Ben too, you notice that?
Well, not a good performance from Eubank so far, Reg. Another couple of rounds like this, and he's going to be looking for that knockout, because he's going to need it. Ben looking a little bit ragged as well now, Reg. See, no defence. See, Ben, a couple of times in the past, has just suddenly fallen to pieces.
There's not much in it, Jim, is there really?
No, there's not. Ben actually looks a little bit as though one of the earlier punches has got an effect on him. His legs look a little bit wobbly.
Once again, Steve Albert back here in our New York City studios. They are 9 rounds complete. Ben Eubank 2. And let's go to the fight, Dr. Ferdy Pacheco, to see how you've got it scored.
I've got it scored 86-84. I think Ben is coming on, punching 3, 4, 5 punches at a time. And for some reason, Eubanks is slowing up. Now, I don't know what that reason is, except that Ben is really putting a lot of punishment on him. Great left hooks that are stopping him. Bobby?
Well, I also see the same thing. I see Ben coming back now a little too strong right now, maybe for Eubank, and I have it 86-85, a 1-point difference. And it's still a very close fight.
You have that difference for Ben, right?
Actually, yeah, Ben.
And he came in awfully loose. In fact, Reg Gutteridge and Jim Watt were commenting that he may have been too loose. He was smiling, but he seems to have the slight edge at this juncture.
Well, I think he's just being he's putting on too much pressure. He's too strong right now. He's the busier fighter. He's making the fight.
All right, back to our satellite coverage from Manchester, England, Ben Eubank 2.
Round 10.
10th round. And would you put Ben in front?
Yeah, still Ben in front, Reg. I feel Eubank has a lot to do. He tried to sharpen up in the previous round there, but he's not boxing well. He's taking too long to get his punches off. Up close, he's not throwing any punches. I mean, it's not quite as good a battle as the previous one. A lot of scuffling and a lot of untidy stuff. But the event's made it obviously exciting.
Oh, there's great.
Oh, good left hook. That's a beauty. That was a good shot from Ben. That was the one.
Yeah, he's stumbling a bit there, Eubank. The legs have started to betray him a bit. Remember, he went down in the Michael Watson fight, where he was being beaten quite clearly. And then came back, of course, for that tragic end for Watson in the last round.
Well, we thought by now we would see the strength of Eubank beginning to take control, but that hasn't happened. It doesn't look any stronger than Ben does. And that was a lovely left hook.
he's recovered okay, though, Eubank. He pulls himself together pretty well.
Well, that was a beauty, Reg. He was banging the chin. He took it well. As we said before, an excellent chin. See, he's not landing cleanly. His own punches, Ben's managing to keep the loader.
He really is full of fire, isn't he, Ben? He's actually enjoying the fight. Minute to go in the 10th. Once more now, two American judges. One from England, Harry Gibbs. Oh dear. Those rabbit punches are not to be tolerated for too long, I don't think, by the referee.
Ben's allowing Eubank to come forward in this round, but still Eubank not really being very effective.
Half a minute. I'm doubting now, Jim, whether Eubank has really ever got himself just in front. I think Ben has always just nipped in front there. There's not much in it. It's a bit seesaw.
I've got Ben in front, Reg. I always think he's been busier, and the time that counts, he has the last word in a lot of the exchanges, and I really feel Eubank not had the accuracy that you usually expect from him. I've got Ben in front.
At least he's going back to the corner just a few seconds earlier. A change of trainer working inside the ring. He's showing out to Frank Bruno there and answering him too, Eubank. Have a look at this in replay, Jim.
He's up low, he's just looking for the shot. Bang, right on the chin. Look at them. You can see the way his head shook from that punch, but still he's looking back towards Ben. He's taking the punch perfectly well, but that was a scorcher.
There it is, there he's got Ben in front. Barry McGuigan's unofficial card. First time he's actually done this on ITV.
Second round. Round 11.
11th round. 41,000 odd crowd here.
Well, Eubank, I think,
The Old
complaining about a low one again there. I don't know if it was low, Reg. I was unsighted. I was right behind Ben.
Got to remember there was a point deducted from Ben. Could that make a difference? If it's that close, what do you think?
Well, I would still have him in front, Reg, even allowing for the point. But Eubank must realise, surely his corner have told him he has all to do in the last couple of rounds.
Yeah, he's just got to hang on to that slender lead, doesn't he?
But Ben doesn't want to let him come forward at this stage in the fight. He's strong, as we're saying, about closer to 13 stone by now, no doubt. You don't want Eubank coming at you. A little bit of the snap seems to have gone out of Ben's work, Reg. He's feeling the pace.
Yeah, well, remember he was tagged by Oro Galvano right in the dying seconds of the 12th round when he fought him. Could it happen again here? You never know. It's all on the knife edge, really, isn't it?
Yeah, he wants to just force the punches out now, Ben. He's obviously feeling the pace. You keep that chin low. Nice little chopping right hand from Ben.
It's a pity that at times there's been a bit more hugging than hitting, really.
Yeah, it's been an untidy fight, Reg. It's not been quite as good as the previous encounter, but you find that quite a lot. But the atmosphere and just the event has made the whole thing. Oh, good left. Yeah, see, Ben's leaving that chin. Back it comes when he's hurt. He's always the same. That's what makes him so exciting.
Minute to go.
No, I think Eubank's done slightly better this round, Reg. Ben looks to me as though he's really feeling the pace.
Trained for a long time in Tenerife. lots of chancy football type chance here in the stadium, but here we go, here we go. He's always scuffling well, Ben, isn't he? That's the thing, Jim. They may not all be hurtful punches, but he keeps on throwing them in.
But I think Eubanks nicking this one, Red. Good right hand from Ben, but he's looking very tired.
Very lively running back to the corner there, looking for that drug of a...
Great action in that 11th round. 1 to go, and if you recall, Ben Eubank went to Eubank, a 9th round TKO, and Eubank comes in a 4-1 favorite. How do you see it with 1 to go?
Well, I had Ben all the way going in with two points ahead going into this round. However, Eubank has come back into this round with a terrific flurry on the rope, and it's Ben all of a sudden looks tired. The championship's up for grabs. This is the round. He could get knocked out. Ben could, because he looks so tired, but it's up for grabs. I have Ben ahead by 1 point.
How about you, Bobby?
I also have Ben right now by 1 point. I think that this last round does do the whole fight. That 1 point that was taken away could, in actuality, change a world championship here. I think that would be a shame because it's been great action, terrific ebb and flow both ways. There is no clear-cut winner.
So here we go from New York City to our satellite coverage in Manchester, England, round 12.
Well, biggest round of your career, as we're saying there. And isn't it so? Even he can smell it. Well, it could be close. And I'm wondering how you at home have got it.
Oh, Ben, a lovely late hand to start the round, then 2 more. Ben won a big round, Red, would just put the clincher on it, no problem for Ben. He had a lazy 11th round. Eubanks slipping on the canvas there. Left hook. Eubanks slipped on the canvas and Ben took full advantage of it. This is the round, Reg, we've been waiting for. This is what we expected.
Blowing hard, Ben, but he's still throwing more than his share of punches. Minute gone.
In a close fight, Red, you don't want to allow the opponent to do all the leading off, and that's what Ben's doing here.
Yeah, not a particularly good round so far.
No, I mean, he's landing the same amount of punches because Eubank's missing so much, but you don't want him to be looking the boss. They're both fairly exhausted here.
Well, it seems to be drawn decisions are all the vogue these days, isn't it? Whitaker, Chavez, Eubank close. I hope that they can find a winner here anyway.
See Ben again, he looked very lazy in the 11th round, and I don't think he's got an awful lot left, but here he fires back again. He's going to have to spring into life here.
Oh no, they're shouting at one another. Just look at that with a minute left. A little bit of abuse going on in there, I think. Ben's absolutely convinced him that he's won this.
Well, I don't know if he thinks he's not enough in front, Reg, to coast. He should be thrown back here. And Eubank won the 11th on my card, and he's doing all the work in this one.
Eubank tried to kid around too, with putting his hands up there as if to say to the judges, this is my fight, man. I mean, a couple of cocky characters here, aren't they?
A lot of untidy boxing all the way through, but this has been a good round.
They always carry that little bit of drama and argument and debate, and maybe that's what the decision will do. There it is, all over. And now we've got that long wait now for the three judges' cards. The supervisor, Ray Clark of the British Board, and the Boxing Board of Control steward there is Tom Hendry, local MP and the Shadow Minister for Sport. Not that he's involved with the position at all, but watching now, then they're both being hoisted.
Steve Albert back in our New York City studios. Hope you enjoyed Nigel Benn, Chris Eubank 2, satellite coverage from Manchester, England. About as close as it gets. Ferdy, how'd you see it?
Savage last round, Ben taking the first part, Eubank taking the last, making it even, and I have Ben winning the fight 115 to 114, and a tough decision.
That would be sweet revenge indeed for Nigel Benn. How about you, Bob?
I pretty much feel the same way. I think the last round was very even in the beginning. Nigel Benn came out like a demon, fought hard, won the first half round. Then also, Eubank, he came on, he did what he had to do, but the 9th, 10th, even maybe the 7th and 8th rounds, that's where I think Eubank lost the fight. Ben built up some steam. The 1-point deduction made it closer than it should have been. Eubank loses by 1 point.
Ready for the official decision, back to Manchester, England.
Here's the MC. Well, I think he knows he's won it. He's been tipped off, I should have thought there, Ben.
We've all seen an outstanding 12 rounds of boxing. No matter who the winner is, they both deserve a round of applause. Outstanding effort, Eubank and Nigel Benn. Ladies and gentlemen, of the 12 rounds of boxing, here are the score totals. Judging ringside, Harry Gibbs scores about 115, 113, Chris Eubank. Judging ringside, Gerald Castellano scores about 114, 113, Nigel Benn.
This looks like being
Judging
a draw.
ringside, Chuck Hassett scores about 114 to 114, even a draw.
Yes, it's a draw. Well,
Draw.
we thought Bender stole it, Jim, but we weren't a bit surprised by a drawn decision then. Would you believe? Is it going to be a third time up? He's not too pleased with that, Ben, at all.
Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, both of the boxers retain their super middleweight crown belt.
So there you have it from Manchester, England. It is ruled a draw as Nigel Benn and Chris Eubank retain their respective championships. I did notice Don King in the crowd. Maybe they should have gone to overtime. If you follow boxing, you know what I'm talking about, the fact that Don King is now a proponent of overtime in boxing. Little boxing humor there. The scoring was Harry Gibbs, 115, 113 for Eubank. Carol Castellano had it 114, 113 for Ben, and Chuck Hassett had it 114, 114 a draw. Let us go back right now to what turned out to be the pivotal moment, the turning point of the fight. We take you back to round number 6, and here was the low blow right there. The left uppercut by Nigel Benn. A point was deducted. It turned out to loom very, very large in this fight. And Ferdy Pacheco, first, let's get your opinion.
Well, I think whereas last month we had irate indignation over Chavez and Whitaker, this time we have sullenness. I mean, you know, there's a feeling of what? Again? I mean, Ben won the fight. He lost, you know, by 1 point. The other guy loses, and we have a draw again. So there is a sullen resignation about this, a dissatisfaction, if you will, for this decision. I'm not happy with it. I don't think it should have been a draw.
Yeah, I thought Ben won it too, but how do you sort it out, Bobby?
Well, especially with that one low blow, that point. That punch was facilitated not only by Ben, but also by Eubank pulling on his head. This was not a blatant shot south of the border. So I think that point not only cost him the title, or actually both titles in essence, but it also cost him the fight here, and I really just don't think it was right. I think he won the fight. I think he took the fight, he carried the fight, and this fight, though, not like the Chavez-Whitaker fight. That fight was nowhere near a draw. This was at least near one.
All right, the comments of Bobby Ches and Ferdy Pacheco. Let's get a post-fight reaction. We've got Chris Eubank. Meanwhile, Nigel Benn, so upset with the scoring, left the ring area, so in his place is trainer Jimmy Tibbs. Let's go back to Old Trafford Stadium in Manchester, England, to hear what they have to say.
Right, first of all, Chris, did you agree it was a draw?
It was close. I thought I would have nicked it on the boxing, the more boxing. He was punching hard. He was scoring with shots. He's not the man I thought. I thought I would knock him out. I thought his resilience would go, but you know, what a good fighter he is, and I'm glad to have got the draw. Now we can do it again. We can finally, set the record straight.
I have to say, if the referee didn't take away a point, Nigel Benn would be double champion now.
He hit me low about 3 times, 4 times. In the later round, he hit me with a low blow. Just after the referee took away a point, he hit me again. It's all to do with fair play. I mean, it's all in the game. It's a draw. We do it again. We earn the money. And hopefully Nigel can be reasonable and, behave like a gentleman instead of hyping the fight. I mean, yeah, we had a brilliant crowd here tonight, a full house. I really enjoy playing to this type of crowd. And I'm pleased, basically, to keep my unbeaten record, to keep my WBO World Championship, and I'm pleased that we'll probably get it on again in next summer or something.
Were you relieved to get a draw? They looked a bit desperate towards the end of you, going flat out to stop him.
Oh yeah, I mean it was a close fight. I knew it was close. Nigel wasn't playing. He was hitting hard. He was I basically didn't box. I thought I would have boxed more, but I didn't. You know, such is life. Still a good performance from my half. Good performance from his half, and you know, I haven't got any complaints with the draw. You know, it was a close fight. He hit me with some good shots. I hit him with some good shots, and you know, such is life.
Okay, Chris. Now, what happened to Nigel Benn? He just shot off. We were hoping to talk to him.
Nigel Benn's a little bit disgusted with the decision, but I've come here just to say what a great fight it was for Chris Eubank and for Nigel Benn and for the British public, and I believe that they can get it on again. And I thought my man just nicked it, but there's no disgrace to Chris Eubank.
No way.
No, but if he hadn't took that point away, as you said earlier on, well, what a great fight. What a great fight, and let's hope they can do it again.
Jimmy Tibbs, you're the trainer, of course. Did you think Nigel actually won? He's disgusted with the
I
verdict.
thought he just actually nicked
No
it.
way, come on, don't play that.
No,
Don't play that. He didn't win this fight. There's no way. If anything, the
Chris,
boxing.
I asked you whether you thought it was a draw. I'm just asking Jimmy Tibbs whether Nigel thought he'd won.
I thought my man just nicked it, but I'm saying if we never took that point away, we would have got the verdict. But what a great fight. It's come out a good result at the end because they can get together. I'm sure the promoters will do that, and everyone will be happy.
And you're still unbeaten one way or another. Thank you very much, Chris and Jimmy.
So the thoughts from Manchester, England, some final comments, and perhaps a thought or two on the super middleweight division as it stands now. How about first from the fight doctor, Ferdy?
Well, I think we didn't accomplish anything. We're frozen in time. The two guys that should have met to decide who was best so they could move on to the next stage are frozen. They didn't accomplish it. They worked very hard. Nothing was accomplished. I feel very dissatisfied, very incomplete. I wish...
Bienvenidos aficionados al box.
Just spit it right in there. Don't worry about it. Drop your hands. Be sharp. Change your angle. Give him that, hey, come on. And snap your punch.
So you saw the